Here's a map showcasing China, a diverse and populous country located in East Asia. It shares borders with several neighboring countries, including Russia, North Korea, Mongolia, and India. With 1.4 billion people, China is the most populous country in the world, and it has a rich and extensive history that dates back to over 5,000 years. The country is home to some of the world's most incredible natural wonders, including the majestic Himalayan mountains, vast deserts, and picturesque coastlines. China is also a land of stark contrasts, with bustling modern cities sitting alongside ancient temples and rural villages. China is a treasure trove of natural resources, with abundant reserves of coal, iron ore, and rare earth metals. It is also one of the largest producers of goods and services in the world, with a thriving economy that has grown rapidly in recent decades. China has also made remarkable progress in the fields of science and technology, with significant contributions to areas such as artificial intelligence and renewable energy. Despite being widely known for its ancient civilization, breathtaking landscapes, and technological advancements, there are many shocking truths about China that are often kept hidden from the public eye. The government's policies and actions, such as the treatment of ethnic minorities in Xinjiang, the ongoing protests in Hong Kong, or the aggressive hostile actions of the Chinese government in the South China Sea, are just a few examples of the hidden truths that exist in China. So, get ready to have your mind blown as we uncover 10 of the most terrifying discoveries that have emerged from the depths of China's past and present. Join us as we shed light on the untold stories of this intriguing nation and reveal that China is not always what it seems. Number 10. China's robot weapons. Imagine an army of robots, designed to be deployed on the battlefield and carry out missions that would otherwise put human soldiers in danger. This isn't the stuff of science fiction anymore. China has been at the forefront of developing robot weapons and has made significant progress in recent years. But what exactly are China's robot weapons, and how do they work? These machines are designed to perform a variety of tasks, from reconnaissance and surveillance to combat operations. They can be equipped with a range of weapons, including guns, missiles, and even flamethrowers. China has been working on both ground-based and aerial robot weapons, with drones being a particular area of focus. The use of robot weapons raises concerns about the potential for these machines to make decisions on their own, without human input. China has been developing artificial intelligence to enable its robot weapons to operate autonomously, which has sparked concerns about the potential for unintended consequences. However, China has stated that its robot weapons are designed to be used in a human-controlled manner, with a human operator making the final decision on whether to use lethal force. One of China's most advanced robot weapons is the Sharp Claw II, a ground-based robot that can be used for reconnaissance and surveillance, as well as for delivering lethal force. Equipped with a range of sensors and cameras, the Sharp Claw II can provide real-time information to human operators, allowing them to make informed decisions about how to deploy the robot. Another notable development is China's unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs, which are being used for reconnaissance and surveillance, as well as for carrying out airstrikes. China's Wing-Lung drones have been used in combat operations in the Middle East and have been exported to a number of countries. While the development of robot weapons offers potential benefits, such as reducing the risk to human soldiers, it also raises concerns about the potential for these machines to be used in ways that violate international humanitarian law. The use of lethal force by autonomous machines is a particularly controversial issue, with many arguing that machines should not be making decisions about when to use lethal force. China's robot weapons represent a significant advancement in military technology. While there are concerns about the potential for unintended consequences, China has stated that its robot weapons are designed to be used in a human-controlled manner. As with any new technology, it will be important for policymakers and the international community to carefully consider the implications of the use of robot weapons in armed conflict. Number 9. Chinese-Russian military alliance. As tensions continue to rise between Russia and Ukraine, there have been rumblings of a potential military alliance between Russia and China. If Russia continues to not achieve its goals in Ukraine, it is possible that China could provide military support to its ally. Recent talks about everlasting friendship, destroying the petrodollar, and comments about changing the world as we know it have sparked concerns amongst many people. The potential alliance between Russia and China would have significant geopolitical implications. Together, the two countries would possess a formidable military force and could potentially pose a threat to global security. Such a military alliance would also challenge the current balance of power in the region and could potentially upset the United States' dominance in the Asia-Pacific. If Russia and China were to launch a military aggression, it is possible that they could target neighboring countries, particularly those that have strained relationships with either country. This could include countries in Central Asia, Southeast Asia, and the Pacific. While the details of a possible military plan are unclear, it is likely that the two countries would focus on joint operations and the sharing of military intelligence. If this is currently the case in Ukraine, we can't know for sure. Russia's expertise in conventional warfare and China's technological advancements in areas such as artificial intelligence and cyber warfare could prove to be a formidable combination. However, there are also potential challenges to a hypothetical alliance between Russia and China. The two countries have a complicated history, and there are long-standing tensions between them. Furthermore, there are significant differences in their political ideologies and economic systems. Overall, the possibility of a military alliance between Russia and China is a concerning development in the current geopolitical landscape. It highlights the importance of international diplomacy and cooperation in maintaining global security and stability. It is crucial that world leaders work together to prevent the escalation of conflicts and promote peaceful solutions to international disputes. Number 8. China's artificial sun. Wouldn't it be nice to have the sun alongside us here on Earth? China is here to disprove your belief that such a thing is an absurd notion that will never come to pass. By creating a new nuclear sun, the country has just mimicked the star at the heart of the solar system. But how does the new nuclear sun replica from China operate? But more importantly, should you be concerned that things might spiral out of control and/or that China is taking on too much? Before discussing the operation of China's artificial sun, we should first consider its purpose. By simulating the natural reactions that occur within stars, it is intended to provide nearly infinite clean energy. The artificial sun, which is the holy grail of producing clean energy, generates energy using the same process as the natural sun. This is because there are no fossil fuels needed for the process, and no hazardous waste is produced. Researchers also assert that there is much less risk of a catastrophic environmental event than there is with the nuclear fission process, which drives commercial nuclear energy production. How does China's artificial sun operate then? It functions similarly to the sun. You receive solar energy from the sun because of nuclear fusion that occurs in the sun. In the sun's core, nuclear fusion takes place when the protons of colliding hydrogen atoms violently fuse to form helium atoms. Deep within its heart, this mechanism, also known as PP or proton-proton chain reaction, emits incredible amounts of energy. About 620 million metric tons of hydrogen are fused by the sun every second. The reaction is made feasible by the core's tremendous pressure and temperature, which are thought to reach 25.33 trillion kilopascals and 15.7 million Kelvin respectively, or the equivalent of 250 billion atmospheres. In the end, 2 protons and 2 neutrons are bound together to form an alpha particle, which is identical to a helium nucleus, from the fusion of 4 protons or hydrogen nuclei. This conversion of 2 protons into neutrons and energy results in the release of 2 positrons and 2 neutrinos. For more than 15 minutes, the sun in China was able to superheat a loop of plasma to a temperature that was 5 times that of the sun. A temperature of 158 million degrees Fahrenheit or 70 million degrees Celsius was maintained by the reactor, also known as East or Experimental Advanced Superconducting Tokamak, for 1056 seconds. The scientific community applauded this accomplishment since it represents a huge advancement toward the development of a virtually limitless source of renewable energy. China is attempting to harness their artificial sun to provide an endless supply of energy and is continuing to work on additional nuclear fusion power development projects in addition to East, and is expected to complete the construction of a second tokamak by the early 2030s. Number 7. China's quantum supremacy. Wouldn't it be incredible to achieve quantum supremacy? China has made this a reality, breaking records in the field of quantum computing. But what does quantum supremacy mean? And how did China achieve it? More importantly, what implications does this breakthrough have for the future of technology and national security? Quantum supremacy refers to the point at which a quantum computer can perform calculations faster than any classical computer. In other words, it can solve problems that are currently intractable for traditional computing methods. This achievement represents a significant milestone in the development of quantum technology, opening up a new era of computing and encryption. China's quantum supremacy was achieved using a specialized quantum computer called Zhujiang. Using the Zhujiang quantum computer, Chinese researchers were able to perform a specific quantum algorithm that would take a classical supercomputer approximately 2.5 billion years to solve. The Zhujiang, however, was able to solve the same problem in just 200 seconds. This breakthrough represents a significant step forward in the development of quantum technology and has potential implications for a wide range of industries, including finance, materials, science, and cryptography. The implications of China's quantum supremacy breakthrough are vast. Quantum computing has the potential to revolutionize industries and transform the way we live our lives. It could lead to the development of new materials, medicines, and encryption methods that are currently impossible with classical computers. At the same time, quantum technology also poses significant challenges to national security, as it has the potential to break current encryption methods. As research in this field continues to advance, it will be crucial to balance the benefits and risks of this new era of computing. Number 6. The South China Sea Dispute. The South China Sea dispute has been an ongoing issue that has caused tension and concern for countries in the region and beyond. The conflict centers around territorial claims and disputes over resources in the South China Sea, which is home to some of the world's busiest shipping lanes and rich fishing grounds. China has been asserting its territorial claims in the region by building artificial islands, military bases, and fortifications in disputed areas. This has been met with resistance and criticism from neighboring countries, such as the Philippines and Vietnam, who also claim ownership of certain parts of the sea. The international community has also been vocal about the issue, with the United States and other Western countries expressing concern over China's actions and calling for a peaceful resolution to the dispute. The United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS, has been cited as a framework for resolving the conflict, but China has refused to abide by its rulings. The tension and uncertainty surrounding the South China Sea dispute have raised concerns about the potential for a military conflict in the region. The United States has increased its military presence in the area, conducting freedom of navigation operations and joint military exercises with allies and partners in the region. The South China Sea dispute is a complex issue that requires a multifaceted approach to resolve. Dialogue, diplomacy, and adherence to international law and norms are essential in finding a peaceful and sustainable solution to the conflict. The stakes are high, and the outcome of the dispute will have significant implications for the countries involved and the broader international community. Number 5. Chinese spy balloons. Chinese spy balloons are a new and concerning phenomenon that has been reported in various parts of the world, including the United States. These balloons are designed to be high-altitude surveillance platforms, capable of monitoring large areas for extended periods of time. The Chinese spy balloons are believed to be deployed by the Chinese government, and their primary purpose is to gather intelligence on other countries. They are equipped with advanced cameras and sensors, allowing them to capture detailed images of the ground below. The balloons are typically launched from mobile platforms and are capable of remaining aloft for weeks at a time. The use of Chinese spy balloons raises serious concerns about privacy and national security. Their deployment in foreign countries without the knowledge or consent of those countries is also a violation of international norms. Nevertheless, balloons are not a viable choice for advanced and sophisticated opponents, as they are large and challenging to conceal, and their course is subject to prevailing winds. During World War II, Japan launched balloons intended to drop firebombs on Seattle, but the balloons never flew over the target. A balloon must carry a sensor payload to gather information, but since the balloon will not return to base, a method must exist for transmitting the data collected. In the 1960s, the United States developed a complicated technology that allowed a C-130 aircraft to retrieve the dangling payload from the first reconnaissance satellites. However, to use a similar system, China would have to fly a large plane over US territory, a risky proposition. The payload could also be parachuted to the ground, but the payload would not be recoverable unless China has personnel stationed, which is another risky proposition. While the balloon could transmit data via radio, there have been no reports of radio transmissions from the balloon. In summary, collecting data without being able to retrieve it is a waste of time and money. Without a signal or payload, there can be no spying. After shooting down the recent supposed Chinese spy balloons, efforts are underway to monitor and mitigate the threat posed by Chinese spy balloons in the future. In the United States, the Federal Aviation Administration has issued warnings to pilots and established procedures for reporting sightings of suspicious balloons. Additionally, there are ongoing efforts to develop countermeasures to detect and disable the balloons. Overall, the phenomenon of Chinese spy balloons is a concerning development that highlights the need for increased vigilance and cooperation among countries to address emerging threats to national security. Number 4. Great Firewall of China. The Great Firewall of China, also known as the Golden Shield Project, is a system of censorship and internet surveillance implemented by the Chinese government. It is one of the most sophisticated and extensive online censorship systems in the world, and has far-reaching implications for the freedom of speech, privacy, and access to information for the Chinese people. The Great Firewall of China operates by blocking access to certain websites and online services that the Chinese government deems to be harmful or inappropriate. This includes popular platforms such as Google, Facebook, and Twitter, as well as many news websites, online forums, and blogs. In addition to website blocking, the Great Firewall also monitors internet traffic and filters content in real time. This means that messages, posts, and other online communications can be intercepted and censored if they are deemed to be critical of the Chinese government or its policies. The effects of the Great Firewall of China are far-reaching. It has been criticized for stifling free speech, limiting access to information, and promoting a culture of self-censorship among the Chinese people. It has also been accused of being a tool for political repression and surveillance, with many activists, dissidents, and journalists being targeted and silenced by the system. The government has invested heavily in developing and expanding the system, with new technologies such as artificial intelligence and big data being used to enhance its effectiveness. Its impact on the lives of hundreds of millions of Chinese people, and its potential implications for the rest of the world, make it a topic of great significance and importance. Number 3. The mysteries of the Sanxingdui civilization. The Sanxingdui civilization is a testament to China's rich cultural heritage. This ancient civilization, located in what is now Sichuan province, was only discovered in 1929, and its origins date back to the Shang dynasty, around 1200 BCE. The site covers an area of over 12 square kilometers and contains 2 main sacrificial pits, which have yielded an array of intriguing and mysterious artifacts. The most fascinating of these artifacts are the bronze masks. These masks, which are believed to have been used in religious ceremonies, depict human faces with elongated ears and exaggerated features. Some have speculated that these masks represent extraterrestrial beings or ancient gods. In addition to the masks, the Sanxingdui civilization also produced numerous bronze sculptures, including a 2.5-meter-tall bronze statue of a standing figure, which is considered one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of the 20th century. One of the most puzzling aspects of the Sanxingdui civilization is its sudden disappearance. The civilization flourished for about 1,500 years, but around 1000 BCE, it vanished without a trace. Archaeologists have yet to determine what caused this abrupt end to the civilization, but some theories suggest that it may have been due to an environmental catastrophe, such as a flood or earthquake. Despite the mystery surrounding the Sanxingdui civilization, excavations of the site continue to reveal new discoveries. In recent years, new pits have been discovered, and the artifacts found within them have shed further light on this ancient culture. The Sanxingdui civilization continues to fascinate and intrigue scholars and laypeople alike, and it remains an important part of China's cultural legacy. Number 2. The mysterious Longyu Caves. Have you ever heard of the Longyu Caves in China? These mysterious caves are one of the most fascinating ancient underground wonders of the world, with an origin that is still unknown to this day. These caverns were accidentally discovered in the 1990s and continue to puzzle researchers with their intricate structures and unusual features. The Longyu Caves are a series of 24 large underground chambers that were carved into solid sandstone in the Zhejiang province of China. These massive chambers have been estimated to be around 2,000 years old, with their construction and purpose remaining a mystery. The caves, which measure over 30,000 square meters, feature walls, floors, and ceilings that are completely covered in intricate carvings that are believed to have been made with extremely advanced tools. The most intriguing aspect of the Longyu caves is their perfect symmetry, with each chamber being carved to identical dimensions, including the spacing of pillars and other structural elements. Researchers have been unable to explain how the ancient builders were able to achieve such precision and accuracy without the use of modern technology. Despite their age, the caves remain in remarkably good condition, which only adds to their enigmatic nature. Some speculate that they were used for military purposes, or as underground granaries, while others believe they were created by ancient aliens. Regardless of their purpose or origin, the Longyu caves remain a fascinating example of ancient craftsmanship and engineering. Number 1. Mummified monk inside ancient Buddha statue. The discovery of a mummified monk inside an ancient Buddha statue in China has fascinated the world. The statue was brought to the Netherlands for restoration work, where a CT scan revealed the remains of a monk inside the statue. It is believed that the monk was a practitioner of self-mummification, a rare and extreme form of meditation practiced by some Buddhist monks. This practice involved slowly reducing food intake and ingesting a toxic sap to induce vomiting and dehydration, leading to death. The body was then treated with salts and placed in a small space to dry out, resulting in a mummified state. The Buddha statue, which is estimated to be from the 11th or 12th century, was likely created to enshrine the mummified monk and revered as a holy relic. It is considered a rare and important find that sheds light on the history and practices of Buddhism in China. The discovery has sparked interest in the study of self-mummification and the preservation of cultural artifacts. The statue and mummified monk are now on display at a museum in the Netherlands, where visitors can learn about this unique phenomenon and the history of Buddhism in China. Tell us what you think about these discoveries in the comments below.